Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
Yes.
This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is a time of the night where we have to talk about what happened in that court. Yes, what happened in that court. That's the story of our days. Yes. Right, we are here. It's morning. It's a very good morning, Lindy. A very good morning. Indeed, we're not going to waste any more time. Obviously, we are going to go straight to the story. And greetings to all of you.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again on another deliberation of the Senzo Meyiwa trial and all the things that are happening in that court that are so unusual. We're going to discuss what happened on this day. And of course, we know there will be a postponement until next week, Tuesday. It's just unfortunate that there's no level of empathy or trying to understand how the situation can be mitigated pertaining to Gwabini, because he's saying where he works, it's no work, no pay. So it means he's going to have a very dark December without money.
Yeah,
And
that's how it is.
there are whispers of a trial within a trial concerning that statement now. So, but let's go through what happened. So court resumed, and Ramasepeli said that yesterday there was an interaction between Advocate BALOYI and Mr. Gwabini, and during that interaction there was an issue about a red VW Polo motor vehicle that was allegedly driven by Mohani during his arrest. So BALOYI put a preposition that on the 4th of June 2020, that motor vehicle was involved in an accident and it's not possible that it was there when the witness was arrested. Ramasepeli said that they went to the record, and on the 29th of November 2023, during the examination of Mr. Gininda by the prosecutor, Gininda said that regarding the arrest of Ntanzi on the 19th of June 2020, Ms. Mogola was indeed not issued with a white BMW, but she was driving a red VW Golf that she used to transport accused number 1 to Tembisa Court. He said specifically on the 19th. Later on, we will find out how Advocate BALOYI said that Mogola testified that she was not having that vehicle on the 19th. And now, he wishy-wishing. So the preposition that the motor vehicle was damaged by the 4th, and that by the 19th it was still not mobile, cannot be true, according to Advocate to Ramasepeli. Well, BALOYI said that the evidence will have to be looked into its context. It could mean that Brigadier Gininda is saying that this is the car that is usually driven by Mogola, and BALOYI said that they will have a look at it. The record will speak for itself. The judge asked that they both check the record, and Mnisi said that he thinks that issue can be put at rest now because the state has those records readily available. They can print it. That information can be read into record. That is what they normally do. But BALOYI said that they are of the view that the portion that Mr. Ramasepeli was referring to is the same portion that it was referred to yesterday, wherein Brigadier Gininda, as the commander of the unit, said that he issued the red Golf in question to Sergeant Mogola. He said it's the same information that they placed on record yesterday on the 29th of November 2023. And on the 19th of June 2023, he read the record where Brigadier Gininda was testifying. He said Sergeant Mogola was taking accused 1 to court, so that the morning she booked accused 1 from Valeria to Tembisa Court, and then the accused was taken back on that specific day. He said that the defense is also in possession of the relevant entry books, OB entries, that confirm that accused 1 was booked from the police station for court purposes and back. The time is clearly indicated there on that specific day, and she was not in use, or she was not issued at that stage the white BMW She was driving a red VW GTI, which was the car that was issued by Brigadier Gininda as her commander for her utilization furthermore. So he said, I was not on that specific day, and Baloyi said that this passage can be interpreted that on the day she was driving a GTI, or that she normally was driving the GTI that he as the commander of the unit issued her with. So they are now saying that in the interim there was a Golf that Mogola had used because the red one got involved in the car accident on the 4th of June.
Why should we take their word?
I don't
Why
know.
should it be their word? Why can't they produce evidence?
I don't know, because I was expecting that to happen, but it's like it's not going to happen. I was expecting that he would produce the documents of the write-off, because he was saying that the red Golf has been written off. And you know what? Last year there were rumors from people that were going to court that red Golf is actually parking outside almost on a daily basis. I don't know how true that is. They said there was a red Golf there by the Pretoria High Court that people from the outside, or people that were attending court or were observing from the outside, were saying that's actually a red Golf there. And at the time, I think Advocate Mgomezulu was still with us. But I remember seeing those rumors. So we don't know if it's the same one or it's a different one. But then the judge said, but the evidence of Mogola, Baloyi said we can scrutinize the record in its entirety to try and give a proper interpretation. Baloyi then leaned to Sibanda and carried on talking to Sibanda there. And I must be honest, Advocate Baloyi seemed frazzled, jittery, all over the place, flipping those pages of his. And I felt like he was rambling. That's how I felt. I felt like he was rambling. He's puzzled. He's not knowing what to say. He's thinking about what he has to say for quite a long time. I don't know what was happening there. So Mnisi quickly got up and said, "Objection, my lord. What is it that needs to be interpreted here? Because the record is simply saying that on that day, Mogola was driving a red VW GTI that was issued by Gininda. So for her utilization on a daily purposes, she used it to transport accused number 1 from Valeria to Tembisa Magistrate Court for his appearance. So what is it that needs to be interpreted there?" Well, the judge said, what's important to me, I want the evidence of Mogola where she says that the car was involved in an accident at Musina and it was a write-off. Remember that evidence, asking Advocate Baloyi there. He said, I want the page, okay? And Baloyi said, yes. You know what the funny thing is? I don't remember this Musina thing. Like, I need to look at my record.
But I don't understand why is that accepted
without backing up, without proof.
No, we can remember, or it could be there, it could not be there, but why is it the only thing that remains in that court and it becomes the truth of everything
without being tested,
without bringing evidence as they normally do? When they refused AVL, they brought the accident evidence. Where is that evidence? Where is evidence that could be assisting us in terms of how can I put this? In terms of what to believe when it comes to this thing. It is difficult. It is hard for me to actually. I don't understand. I mean, sometimes consistently these people, they always come with something. But now it's all about these people's word.
Paperwork of proving that the red Golf indeed was involved in a car accident. Indeed, it was written off. It's a state vehicle, but they are behaving like it's a private vehicle for some weird reason. And I remember there was mentioning of covert operations or whatnot, but that can still be disclosed at the chambers for the defense only. Maybe we cannot be given privilege of seeing it, right?
What?
If they're saying it's a covert vehicle for covert operations
But
in the unit.
it's done. They are saying it's a write-off. What is there to hide?
I don't know, maybe abafuni car registration to be put on record, but still there are means and ways where that can be arranged and that can be done. I mean, they can go and do it on private without it being broadcasted or being shared. Like, there are ways that they can do this thing if they don't want us to know the car registration. But for them to just accept that, okay, the Golf, it's like it's being removed. This red Golf, it's like it's being removed from the situation and it's being replaced with a white BMW or a white Golf. Not even a white BMW, a white Golf. Right? And I'm reminded as well of how Ntanzi made mention of a white BMW when he was getting tortured and made to sign the confession. And now it was removed as well. So it seems like the red Golf also is being taken away from the scene, in my opinion.
When it suits them. When it suits them, it's there, it's used. When it doesn't suit them, remove it. I mean, BALOYI is in charge of that court.
That's what I also came to conclusion of, especially regarding the shenanigans that happened. That,
BALOYI is in charge of that court.
BALOYI
Whether you
is
like
the
it or
court.
not, he's the court.
BALOYI is actually the court of this case. He is the court.
We
He's
don't
the
have
one.
a judge there.
No, we don't.
We just have a
he's
person
stooge.
wearing something.
We actually, today it became very clear, or rather yesterday, it became
BALOYI
clear.
refused to prove the statement after the court order. That court order was changed into...
Heads of argument.
No, what did the eventually Ramasipili accepted? What is it called? He accepted some...
He said, he asked the judge if it was a ruling or an order.
Very...
And the judge said it was a ruling.
There you go.
And that changed the whole
Why did you do that?
I don't understand Ramsey.
Why did you do that? Was there a need for you to do that? Nisi is fighting on the basis that this is an order.
Oh,
why do you stand up and ask for clarity of what Nisi has been saying it is?
Leonard Kolik, we are biased sometimes. Leonard Kolik, this thing of wanting to please everyone. He's a people pleaser. And it's at the expense of Ntanzi. Now I'm really worried.
Ntanzi really is going to be represented properly when it comes to this man. I know people have been like really writing and saying, hey, Ntanzi
like, what was the reason? Lawyer. What was the reason?
Why would you stand up and ask?
Why?
Your colleague, your alliance is arguing on a point of order. That is an order.
That was made by the judge.
That is what you should stand up on. Order. Order. You stand up and say, my lord, was that an order or what? Crazy days, man. Crazy days.
If you don't know what to say, then you must just say, I'm at the mercy of the court. Whatever the court decides will participate.
I'm at the hands of the court.
Once and for all. Don't go in now and rewrite the entire script. What he did just elongated this thing. This torture that Gwabini is about to experience is going to be expanded even more. Imagine they're even proposing that they're going to call Abu Gininda to come and testify.
Just continue.
So Mnisi said, but then comes Brigadier Gininda, who says that on the 19th, and the judge interrupted him and said, no, let's get to the other page because now we are arguing at cross purposes. The driver of the vehicle, as I remember, said it was written off in an accident in Musina and he gave a date. So let's get that portion of evidence. Okay, fine, let's continue. Well, BALOYI said him and Sibanda quoted a page where Brigadier Gininda said he'd like to answer for the 19th, moving backwards. Now he was literally rewriting the record, in my opinion, and throwing in his own speculation, because I don't remember Brigadier Gininda saying moving backwards, but somehow he just put it in there. And but they said that the page they referred yesterday about the accident, they need to print it, or they printed it. He said that it's the 22nd of November 2023, and he said that they quoted the passage where it said that they attended to an investigation in Carltonville on the 18th of June, and at that stage they were using a white Golf, so she couldn't have used the red Golf on the 19th of June, and yes, maybe that's the case, but if that is the case, then it means Mogani was the one using it. Right? There's still that possibility that Mogani could have been the one driving that red Golf from the 19th or from whatever date that Mogola said she let go of it.
And I can be confident in saying he was driving that Golf.
Yeah, he was familiar with it.
He was driving that Golf.
So this needs some more investigation, right? Because right now I felt like he's speculating.
Bring a proof.
He needs to bring proof and
this
evidence.
This is a state car. Bring a proof.
It shouldn't be difficult. It belongs to the state. I don't understand why these prosecutors and the police are behaving like state vehicles belong to them. It's their property.
Because
so what must be done when they do this?
They allocate their girlfriends things sometimes. Allocate your girlfriend a car. Hey, drive this thing.
What can be done by the defense at this point? Because this is really...
The judge is just looking for that part.
This is really wrong, in my opinion. Like, it's not fair. This trial is not a fair trial for the accused. It's not. Because these are state vehicles. Why are people acting like they are their cars? They are their vehicles, their personal vehicles. Court orders must be issued for them to be presented in court. No. So Ramasipili then said, I'm sorry, my lord. With due respect, the court has made a ruling. Let us look at the evidence of the driver, which is Mogola, not the interpretation by my learned colleague. BALOYI laughed it off, and he said, we will once again put the contents of the record of the 22nd of November 2023. He read when Gomezulu cross-examined Mogola and asked her what car she was driving on the 19th of June. She did not see him on the 18th of June. She did not see the accused number one in particular on the 18th of June. She said she was driving a Golf 7, a white one. Gomezulu asked her how long had she been driving that vehicle, and Mogola said just after they had an accident coming from Musina, and she said I think it was just after the 4th of June. Mogola never said anything about the car being written off. She didn't. And BALOYI is the one testifying to that the car was written off with no proof, with no evidence. Mgomezulu said, so in Carltonville you were driving this Golf 7. Mogola said, that is correct, my lord, a white Golf. And the judge asked BALOYI, why don't you find out from that garage whether the car is still functional? Because you know the registration number, you know the date. BALOYI said, we can also get the repair authorizations for the red Golf. The judge said, yes, please. And the judge said, Mr. Ramasipili, also do the same, okay? And Ramasipili said he doesn't have the resources. The state is the one who has the resources to do that. The judge said, I'll write a letter to the government garage. And Ramasipili said that he'll try. Then the judge said he can make an order. He said he can make an order. He can. Why is he not making the order? Saying you can make an order and actually making an order are two different things. Why is he not making it?
Because he still needs to get an approval from BALOYI.
The shenanigans in this court, you guys. BALOYI resumed with his cross-examination of Gwabini, and he started by asking him, you testified that on the night when you were arrested on Monday in June 2020, you were sleeping in the S section of the hostel. Is that correct? Gwabini said yes. And BALOYI asked him, but you were not staying in the N section of the hostel. Gwabini said, I was arrested at the S section where I was sleeping. BALOYI now became stern and said, Mr. Zungu, the question is, were you not staying in the N section? And Gwabini said, I don't stay at N section. That is where I eat. I reside at the S section where the police arrested me. Baloyi then asked him, in the statement which is in your name, which will revert to at a greater detail at a later stage, you give your address as residing at number N6/3 Block N, Basotong Hostel. And Mnisi raised an objection. He said that the state cannot say that that statement belongs to the witness. The statement has got to be proven. That statement needs proof before they can start to cross-examine on the content of the statement. But they cannot stand up and say on the statement which is in your name. The state must prove it first before it starts to cross-examine this witness on the contents of that statement. Well, Baloyi said 2 points, my lord. Firstly, Mr. Zungu himself says a statement was made and he was asked to transfer on the statement what accused number 1, Mr. Sibia, said. Is that what happened?
What did he say?
He said Mr. Zungu was asked to transfer what accused number 1 had said. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Did he transfer what accused number 1 had said?
Now that's where the difficulty will be.
How so? How so?
So I think the Mnisi can rely on that in objecting. So for every question that is asked that is not in line with what was said by accused number 1 or not similar to what accused number 1 said, Mnisi should object on that.
So that is the first thing that Advocate Baloyi was saying. And then he said that secondly, the defense themselves have cross-examined witnesses on the statements of other witnesses. But the other witnesses did not deny making any of those statements.
No.
Did they?
No.
They didn't deny
They didn't.
And he said that the issue didn't occupy them at that stage, that the statement hadn't been proven. They cross-examined on the statement of a number of witnesses, and some of them have been handed up, my lord. He said, we are surprised that they're raising this point, but legally speaking, my lord, the witness hasn't, as we mentioned, he mentioned that he signed the statement. He placed an S on the statement. He says the contents were transferred from what accused number 1 said to this document. So we submit, my lord, that we can cross-examine on the statement. The judge asked if it was a statement or a document, and Baloyi said it was a statement. Nisi said that the state must prove the statement before it cross-examines the witness on the content of that statement. It must prove it. If the state has a problem, they don't know how to prove a statement, they must say so. We'll assist him, but he must prove it. Does Advocate Baloyi know how to prove a statement, guys? I have a question.
Yes.
Why didn't you do it?
There you go. Good question. Very good one. Right. So the reason why he probably didn't want to do it is because the statement is not going to support the state's case greatly. Probably it is going to make the state case suffer. So, for example, the statement may harm the state's case. Like if the section 204 statement contradicts the police version and the prosecutor is not obliged then to put the harmful evidence before the court. Number 2, it can maybe be that the state is not using that witness, which is the case. In this case, they are not using that witness. So since the state did not call him, the state does not need to, they does not need the statement. Number 3, in this case they do. Number 3 is that the statement may be inadmissible hearsay, which is not the case, right? So number 4 is heads of arguments are used to argue the law, not evidence. You're going to understand me. Follow me in this. If the defense tries to force the states to introduce the statement, the prosecutor will respond that the state chose chooses its own witness, and the defense cannot detect the state's evidence. The state is not. The statement is not before the court. In this case, it is before the court, right? So the heads of argument are used. In this case, the heads of arguments are used when the prosecutor files the heads of argument instead of proving the statement. They are essentially saying the defense wants me to introduce evidence that I'm not relying on. I will instead argue the court should ignore it, or this is a valid strategy, by the way. Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
What this means for the defense, it's a story for another day. But let me just quickly, the prosecutor is not obliged, Vele. We know they are not obliged. I'm trying to find why the witness can be cross-examined. So in this case, the states can cross-examine to create contradictions, to find contradictions. So they don't need to actually, they don't need to prove the statement. That's what I'm trying to say. But they can use the statement to poke the holes.
Poke holes to Gwabini's story version.
Yes. Credibility. The prosecutor exact the legal right in this case. The prosecutor's position, I'm not using this statement as an evidence. I'm using this statement only for credibility testing. I'm not obliged to prove or admit the statement. If the defense wants its evidence, they must introduce it themselves. Therefore, they can cross-examine on it.
So we are credibility testing even after you've closed your case. This is what we are subjected to.
That is how you get to eliminate the witnesses so that the case become in favor of the state. So in a sense, he's about to test what could be contradictions and actually put a doubt on that witness. That's all he wants. So he's not using this statement.
To do to the testimony of Gininda, where he said the reason why they have managed to build up this case was because of Gwabini, or what information they got from Gwabini. If he's discrediting something that helped them make an arrest, what does it mean? Again,
we argued that point. That is evidence versus investigation. And again, in this case, it's evidence. BALOYI does not want to use the statement as evidence. That is when you need to prove the statement. So, why is refusing to do that? By filing heads of arguments, the state is arguing that the defense cannot force the states to introduce the statement. The defense must introduce the statement if they want to admit. The witness is not under Section 204, which is we know that right now. The state is only relevant. The statement is only relevant for contradiction, not for evidence. And I repeat, not for evidence. This is done to make the court formally aware of the state's position when it comes to this statement. Now, here's the question: does then the witness have protection? We know that is not the case. So, what is a position that the defense can actually adopt? The defense, if they call the witness, you must confront him with Section 204 statement. No. I'm trying. What the defense position in this I'm trying to find that, but it's not much. In a sense, what it says, this BALOYI is actually in a good position. That's what I wanted to you guys to know. Yes, the defense can argue that the states refused to use the statement because they are running away from the loopholes and all that. But again, in a judge like this, I don't think they will succeed in convincing the judge, because the judge is not convinced in any case by the defense. Or they can actually apply to enter that statement themselves to poke those holes and show the defense loopholes that the defense were running away from.
You had mentioned something about it being a trap.
Yes, I did tell you that it was a trap for BALOYI, and it did become a trap. Because when BALOYI introduced it, and as I expected, Nisi stood up and wanted it to be proved. And Miss almost got what he wanted. Only for Ramasipili to make it easy.
Ramasipili is actually the one who crushed.
That question was unnecessary. That question was, it created a leeway for a judge. It opened
to get what he wants, which is to get BALOYI to expand and to navigate in a safe position.
Yes. It was unnecessary.
Ramasipili first started with introducing Absalom Zungu's statement there by the cross-exam. Now we are here. Can't wait to hala. What is going on? Where's Allah? Why does he keep falling for these traps? What's going on? I'm actually worried about Ntanzi now. Because what is this? Sometimes it's best to say nothing. If you have nothing to just say nothing. If you can't support your learned colleague, then do what Numalo does. Don't add anything. Can't wait a lot. Well, the judge said, prove the statement, Mr. BALOYI. And BALOYI said, I'm sorry, my lord. And the judge said, prove the statement. You see, the judge had made and ordered that statement. BALOYI needs to prove it. But to prove the statement, Mr. BALOYI.
Upon realizing that BALOYI was not at ease. No. BALOYI can prove the statement.
He was not at ease to prove it.
He was not at easy to prove it because it has a lot of loopholes. And as you've have heard some of the things that are written there, the names and everything.
A lot of mistakes.
That's why it couldn't be proved.
BALOYI said, firstly, as we've indicated, my lord, the witness said that on the 24th of June 2020, he was in the presence of Brigadier Gininda, and Brigadier Gininda then took down a statement. He transferred what accused one was saying to his document, the statement that is being transferred to. This issue is very crucial if we are going to refer to the statement in detail at a later stage. The judge said, but please, I'm making a ruling. Prove it. Prove the statement. And also BALOYI said, if it is necessary, the point needs to be argued, and we suggest that heads be filed. We'll agree on a timetable to argue this specific point. Well, look at how he's navigating. The judge is telling you to do something, and you go and you assume the position of the judge now. You are saying, no, it's best we do heads of argument. Isn't that something that the judge is supposed to come to conclusion of after you have done what you were asked to do? It's just a question I have. It's almost like he took charge. He became the judge for that moment, and he decided to give the judge direction.
He did.
Which is so awkward. Nisi then said the state is making an order. The court is making a ruling that the state must prove its statement. And the state comes out through Mr. BALOYI and says, no, if it needs be, we can file heads and argue this point. That is not what the court is saying. And even so, the suggestion must also come from the court, not from the state. It must come from the presiding officer. The court is now saying, Mr. BALOYI, can you proceed to prove the statement? He must do that. Well, the judge said, yeah, fine. But if he wants to file heads, he can do that. If he wants to file heads, he can do that. Well, BALOYI said, we'll leave that point there for now. But as I say, the main thrust of cross-examination will be based on the statement. And the judge asked him if he first wants to file his heads. BALOYI then responded by saying that they can traverse the issue at a later stage. BALOYI now resumed to Gwabini, and he said, so you did not give your address as N section in a document that is dated the 24th of June 2020. Nisi objected and said that is incorrect. Mr. BALOYI is getting into the contents of the statement. He must prove it. He cannot even begin to ask the name that is written on the statement before he has proven it. He cannot touch the statement before he has proven it. He must prove it, and he needs to prove it. While BALOYI said at this point, we did not engage with the statement. We will do so at a later stage. BALOYI then turned to Zungu and said, Ugwabin said, Mr. Zungu, what we want to find out from you is that you said you were staying in the S section and not N section. Is that correct? And Gwabini said, yes, he only aided N section. So BALOYI then said, in your evidence in chief, you have not referred to the N section. While Gwabini said, I have not referred to the N section.
You are trying to find the loophole of bringing that N section without having to prove the statement.
Yes.
Because in your evidence in chief, you brought it.
And then he said, you testified that you were in a position on Monday, and you testified that you were placed in the cells at Primrose. It was on a Tuesday morning. Is that correct? And Gininda said, yes. Well, Mr. Anonymous, I'm having a problem here.
The battery.
Yes. I'm having a problem, so I'm going to be using the screen instead, because right there I'm having technical problems.
Is it a battery?
Yes.
You can charge.
How am I going to do that?
You can charge. There's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, guys, unfortunately, we are at that state, and I'm hoping that they're not going to argue to that point. If BALOYI wants to use it as an evidence, now that's a different story. He's going to need to prove it. There's no other way around it.
If he wants to use it as evidence.
As evidence.
But now you are talking about that loophole where he can use it, but not it be used for evidence, but a credibility finding on the witness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is the position that Bora Musipile should have taken with all these other statements.
When the state was presenting their case, how come they didn't
when they
know that they
fell
can do that?
on that trap of they should have taken this position?
Maybe they didn't know about it, and the question is, why didn't they know about it?
It's their job to know about it. It is their job to know about it.
Because that Absalom Zungu situation,
it's not about arguing. You know, BALOYI, yes, he's not a person who's got more points and can really
argue,
drive it home. No.
But you can tell that he has perhaps been guided by Bokheri Nelson, in my opinion.
Yeah. So he buys time, and then he buys time, and he goes back and gets advice. I'm not gonna say from who, but the reason why the prosecutor refuses to prove the statement is the statement may be harmful to the state case. The statement is not using, the state is not using that witness, which is the case. The statement may be inadmissible as hearsay. So heads of argument are going to help to actually create that loophole, and then
that's it.
Then they start questioning credibility, like he was starting to do.
Well, BALOYI said you testified that you were arrested in June 2020 on a Monday, and you testified that when you were placed in the cells at Primrose, it was on a Tuesday morning. Is that correct? And Gwabini said yes.
Sorry, Emmett. Yeah, I hear you, Aubrey. The witness distances himself on that, but did you hear that argument? As much as it was in a hush-hush situation, You are saying that you cannot prove credibility of a witness with a document he distances himself on. Baloyi has no choice but to prove it. But the witness says, there is that part that Baloyi submitted saying the witness said they must copy whatever that comes from Danzi and paste it, and then he's going to sign. That is the problem.
That is the problem. I wish he didn't say that.
That is the problem.
But he's
Distancing,
trying to be honest.
He does distance himself from that.
But not completely.
But not completely.
He should have said, I know nothing about this statement.
Babu
Absalom. Then him saying that I told them that I will sign as long as my brother is the one who... And then, Kamo, you didn't even verify whether your brother is the one who wrote whatever they said he wrote. You basically don't know what was there, but you signed. That's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. So yeah, this means more work for the defense, hey? More work. And they will just have to swallow this because I foresee another trial within a trial. The judge is going to approve it.
Yeah, it's coming home. That one is going to definitely be coming home for the states. I mean, we know this judge cannot say no
to them.
To
yes,
them.
We saw how the court is actually the prosecutor. So Baloyi then said the state is in possession of a register from Primrose Police Station with your name. It indicates your name. Entry 145. Mr. Sifiso says age 29, male, gender is male, the date is the 23rd of June 2020, and he asked him if that was correct. Malo said that he was completely lost. He did not know which document that the state was referring to. He did not have it, and the judge said it's a cell register and asked Baloyi to make copies, but instead of complying with what the judge was saying, the advocate Baloyi decided to be petty once more. He said, my lord, yesterday I showed them the defense this cell register, and no one was interested.
Can you pause a bit? Yeah, here's the question, here's the submission. The guy was tortured in a cemetery. Mr. What was he supposed to do when the people who are telling him he is between death and... Now, this is where then Emily says, then we are going to go to trial within a trial. And then if you submit to that extent to say that he was tortured, remember, saying it out loud does not make it the truth of that court, more especially when it comes to defense. So
he should have just said, I don't know any of that statement. I did not sign anything. Yes. That's what he should have said to save himself from this whole
stress. So in trial within trial,
endure.
We know what is going to happen. For the
statement will be made admissible.
Yes, and then once it is made admissible, then it erases everything that I was beaten and whatnot. We have seen that with Bontans.
Then he will be cross-examined like an accomplice or a suspect even. They can take it that far.
They are looking to impeach him, yes. They'll be looking to impeach him. So
he's just elongated the struggle for himself. I don't know who was advising him and whatnot, but this is where the signature is an S. You bring your own signature and say, this is proof enough that I didn't sign that thing. That's not my signature. My signature is not an S. But that's fine, Singabantu. Some people are too honest to their own peril. That's fine.
Yeah, I think here Mnisi could have done a lot of consultation properly. More especially when it comes to that part.
Yeah.
That a person is going to come and say what he said with an S as a...
What's your signature? Is your signature an S? You know, if it's an S, then let's go ahead. You signed. But you don't have to say you signed if your signature is not looking like the one that's on the statement. You know, I don't know. But this trial is no longer fair.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
I don't
help.
understand why the
to
state is
be-
still playing a fair game.
It doesn't help.
It's
This
not
trial
fair.
is no longer fair. So I don't understand why they're playing this prolonging situation of torture and just unbearable pain. Because now think about it. Ukwabini is going to lose how many days of work? It's just the torture is prolonged now because he's just playing fair with people that are not playing fair. There are people that are invested on his suffering and the suffering of everyone else who's standing there in the accused dock. They are invested in their suffering and they're going to prolong it because now it's them, it's the state versus them, and they've got careers and pension funds that need to be protected. So what do you expect is going to happen? So we're no longer playing a fair game here. So I don't understand why they feel the need to be completely binding to honesty when the people that are putting them on trial are not honest, in my opinion. So BALOYI then said, we are also in possession of the occurrence book, and Mnisi objected. It is incorrect that we were not interested in them. That's what Mnisi was saying, that they did not say that they were not interested in those registered. They asked specific questions to Mr. BALOYI on which he failed to respond. And then they said, let us leave the issue there. It's not like we're not interested. He said, we asked pertinent issues on the relevance
Now,
of
here's
the
the good
document.
news. Here's the good news. Maybe there was a reason why they let him say
That he did put an S.
copy. He
And
said
he
copy.
copied, yeah.
Because that statement is not admissible in court if it's copied. Because it must be voluntarily, free from coercion, made by the witness personally, signed after the witness reads and confirms, which is what the things that are missing, taken by someone with the authority, like police, prosecutor, peace officer. And if you tell someone to copy someone else's statement, I will sign. That is not your own version. It is not your own word. It is not voluntarily and truthful statement. This makes the statement inadmissible, unreliable, potentially fraudulent, credibility destroying weapon for cross-examination. So
Okay, that's the light. That's the light at the end of the tunnel right there. So they need to argue that it's inadmissible. Starting right now. Don't wait for the trial within a trial nonsense that BALOYI wants to subject us to. Argue it now that it's not admissible. Include it in the heads of argument. That portion right there, it needs to be highlighted, bold.
what makes BALOYI so eager to use it is that even if the statement itself is not admissible as the truth, and the fact that you said you would sign someone else's statement is inadmissible to attack the credibility. So exactly this is going back to where I want to. So this means that the prosecutor can use it to show you were willing to sign something that was not your own story, to show you are not an honest and reliable witness, to show your testimony cannot be trusted, to argue that you are fabricating and colluding.
This is where now he will argue that it was life or death. Had he not signed anything, the police would have probably taken him out. To sign that S, it was what ultimately is the reason why he's still standing and is alive. Seal it with that.
But that would have to be tested through a trial within a trial. That is if we reach that point.
Then it means why you are here, trial within a trial. The judge is going to rule for the trial within a trial today.
And then he's going to also rule
I'm
that.
telling you.
And once it does that, everything fades away. So that
I'm
means
telling you. He's going to rule for the trial within a trial. That judgment, it's already ready. He's going to make sure that that trial within a trial happens. And then the judge said, let's adjourn and you make copies. And Nisi said, thank you, my lord. And the judge said, hey, I'm shocked at the behavior of advocates. Shocked. And Nisi said, we are also shocked, my lord. The judge said, you're behaving like children. Nisi said, no, we are also shocked. And the judge said, no, I'm making the remarks. You shut up. You shut up. Nisi said, thank you, my lord. I will shut up.
Let's press the like button, guys.
Yeah. The judge said, I'm shocked. One advocate says, I showed them. Nobody was interested. No, he never showed us. We asked questions, blah, blah, blah. You are all court officers. The court will adjourn. Yay, Yazin. So now this hostility is already there. I guess this is the point where Nisi highlights, because it seems like an application will have to be made.
Yeah, an application will have to be made to take these guys out of jail. Yeah. Some of them.
It will have to be made. The judge is already biased. The judge is talking to us in some type of way. When has he ever told Advocate BALOYI to shut up? Sibanda to shut up. They cross-examine, asking repetitive questions for 3 weeks.
Blatantly refused.
Yeah, now he just refused. He disrespected him. By the way, that is disrespect.
Talking.
Yes, but he's choosing to ignore it and not let it offend him, because it's dear BALOYI. BALOYI is the one who's refusing to take his ruling or order or whatever he calls it, that adjusts according to how Advocate BALOYI feels. So now we are at the state where he will ignore the disrespect from BALOYI, but he will make sure that he highlights whatever little thing that Nisi challenges. It will be highlighted. He will put it on record or whatever. He will throw tantrums. But telling a legal practitioner to shut up,
a colleague,
is completely unprofessional. Well, after the adjournment, Advocate BALOYI returned and he made those copies and said that he had given them to the defense, copies of the Primrose Occurrence book and the register from Primrose, SAP 10 and SAP 14, OB book for the cell register and the cell register for Vosloorus police station. And BALOYI addressed the judge and said that, as we intimated, the statement that is in the issue is central to the issue, to touch sides with most of the issues that come in across examination. And he said our suggestion is that the only practical way of resolving this issue is that the matter be fully ventilated by way of heads of argument regarding the admissibility of the statement. Already get trial within a trial, because he's saying that it's the heads of argument are going to be arguing the admissibility of the statement. So he has completely transitioned from needing to prove the statement to now we are arguing the admissibility of the statement. Isn't that a trial within a trial?
No, it's not.
Or the leading to a trial within a trial? Because now he's saying they're arguing the admissibility of the statement. BALOYI ujike yonke lento lena uyijikile.
They are not gonna. I'm telling you. What? Mark my word. BALOYI is not gonna come back arguing the admissibility. BALOYI is gonna come back and argue that he needs to be allowed to test this witness's credibility. Because that's
but
the
this is not what he's saying right
yes,
now. This is not what he's saying. He's saying something completely different.
But you're not going to be answering what he's saying now. You're going to be answering what he's going to say then, which is going to be written down as heads of argument. Well, now you can say whatever you want to say for the point of departure, so that you go and reset and start thinking and strategizing. He was cornered. So he wanted a way out.
And he rambled.
And he rambled and he found his way out. So do not. It's your fault if you caught him on that one. And you what matters? What is going to matter on Monday? On Monday, as you deal with the heads of argument, is that you stick to those heads of argument. Beyond that, it's a minor issue. Whether he lied to you, whether he misled the court for a different purpose.
The court doesn't care.
I doubt the court will much be interested on that.
The court doesn't care. Anything. From this. Yeah.
Guys, let's press the like button. We are 325. Please press the like button, guys.
Guys, please press the like button. I'm back to begging and shouting again.
Please.
You guys, we labor here. Ne? We come and we try to clarify. We're not asking you for a lot.
The judge and BALOYI, they are in sync.
Please.
In a sense that they understand each other's move.
Yes.
If BALOYI is cornered and the judge has ruled on something, the judge can always ease it by just reading BALOYI's I think mind or the intention, and then it becomes easier, and then he allows that situation to happen. That's basically what is happening.
This has long past being a fair trial.
Yeah, it's like a father and a child.
It's gone.
They met in court after so many years of being far apart.
And he said we can continue with the other issues, but we will time to time find ourselves in a situation where we have come back to the issue of the statement. Hence, we are suggesting that the matter be deferred for the issue of the statement to be properly ventilated. The judge asked Mnisi for a response, and Mnisi said he did not hear Mr. BALOYI. He was speaking very low, and BALOYI laughed and adjusted the mic and said that if the defense did not hear him, and the judge was laughing right along with him. And BALOYI said we suggested that the only way of dealing with the matter is if the matter is deferred and the state and the defense file heads on the admissibility of the contents of the statement, and that a timetable be agreed upon for the filing of heads. He said we've indicated that we can proceed with other issues, but we'll always find ourselves in a situation where we have to refer to the statement, and the suggestion from the state side is that the practical way of dealing with the issue is if it's properly ventilated at the outset, so that we can decide as to how we can proceed with cross-examination depending on the outcomes. That is our suggestion, my lord. Well, also, it seems that he's arguing, or now he's stating it as admissibility of the contents of the statement, but also what I'm reading is that his cross-examination is heavily reliant on these contents of the statement. Besides that, it seems like he doesn't have much. So the expansion,
he doesn't have much.
The expansion of his cross-examination is heavily reliant on that statement and the contents of it.
Yes, it is, Emil. It is. What do you think? You think it is? It is what it is.
Well, Mnisi said that approach is precarious. It's irregular because the court has already made a ruling that the state must prove the statement. That's an order. And if the state is not happy with that, what the court has ordered, unfortunately, an order that is made by the judge cannot be taken on review. Well, the judge was kicking at this, he was laughing as if he's like, "Oyang dagelo wena." Mina ngizoside an estate. Okay, I'm over exaggerating, but that's how I
That's exactly how the small voice could be speaking inside.
He said, as it is now, the court cannot change its own decision. Okay, correction, only BALOYI can change the court's decision.
Exactly.
Mnisi then said, therefore, what is suggested by the state there is totally irregular. The order of the court stands unless if they want to challenge the order that has been granted by the court, and that the state must continue to prove the statement. Ramasepele said, "My lord, maybe before I make a submission, I'm not sure whether what the court made earlier was an order or a ruling." Ramasepele, why?
What do you think when a court
Why?
when a court tells you to sit down? Is that an order or a ruling? Do you ever ask the court if it tells you to shut up? That, my lord, is that an order or a ruling? When did you start caring about an order or ruling? When? When? My man, when? We only have one fighter there. One fighter. Nisi is a fight. Fighting alone.
He's fighting alone, guys.
I have to say that. He's fighting alone.
Even Mshololo is better than this. I said it. There's no way. There is no way. And also, even if it was a ruling, did he revoke it?
No.
Did he revoke it? He didn't. So Ramasepele, why? What is possessing you to sabotage, to self-sabotage? What is wrong? Well, he said, the judge said, oh, at least you understand the law. It's a ruling. So what? Advocate BALOYI did not prove the statement, did not explain why he cannot prove the statement. He did not give reasons as to why that is not a thing that he wants to do. Nothing of that sort happened, right? He didn't explain his position. Nothing. And now, because of this stupid question, we are going to experience torture. Well, Ramasepele said, now that it's being a ruling personally, I am unable to, that the matter be ventilated in argument emanating from that. Then an order will be made by this court. Yazi Nontanzi does not have a lawyer here. I don't want to lie, guys. It's bad. It is bad. Well, the judge said, okay. And Ngumalo said, thank you, my lord. I also have no problem since the state is saying that they want to use the statement that have been made to witness Gwabini. So if it suggests that we go via the route of filing heads, then we will not have any problems with that. Ngumalo, what is going on? Why don't you have a problem with the state using the... Guys, what's going on? BALOYI said that he wanted to respond to what Advocate Nisi had raised, even within the to see that Advocate Nisi is on to something. BALOYI saw it fit that, before we close and wrap this up, let me address what Advocate Nisi raised. He said even within the ambit of the ruling that was made by the court, the only practical way of dealing with the situation would be in a trial within a trial. There we go again. Yes, the go along to get along gang has now made a possibility that was not possible for the state. They've made it possible. Because they failed to back up Advocate Nisi, now the suggestions of trial within a trial are being made. Yaba? So BALOYI then said, in other words, Brigadier Gininda is recalled and the circumstances regarding the taking of the statement is properly ventilated. But for that, we then need to file heads of argument, and that is where we are going with this matter, my lord. So it is still within the ruling that has been made by the court. No, it's not. They told you to prove a statement and you don't want to. Instead of just saying, I can't, and my reasons why I can't is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then have the court decide on what the next step should be. You didn't do that. You just decided to ambush the court and become the court and say, the court is saying I should go here. I don't want to go here. I'm going to go there. And the court just said, let's go. Where you want to go, Mr. BALOYI? That's it. And means he said that he stood by his submissions. Well, the judge said if the state argues that this statement is central to its case and that it will be obliged even if they proceed without having made an order or a ruling regarding a statement, it will not be efficacious for this court to adjourn. It must be something that is agreed upon, that if admissibility is in question and the state has an obligation to prove that statement because of a document which has been signed under oath, it has been disputed, the state bars the onus to prove the statement was made lawfully. Consequently, he said, I think the defense and the state must arrange a date. He asked them to deliberate on how long they will need, then thereafter he'll deliver a judgment.
Let's press the like button, guys. Please press the like button. Please, 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 please. We ask you to press the like button. It's time for calls. See if this phone is on.
Yeah, let's open the lines.
Where
this is real.
Is it?
The only person I feel sorry for is Gwabini with this whole situation of no work, no pay. And the fact that he's going to be subjected, it's not even going to be 3 weeks anymore. It might possibly be longer on that stand. So he's going to have to come to court every day and not be earning an income. That's what's going to happen. And the judge doesn't care, because he said when he's like, oh, but my lord, it's like the court is not thinking that I'm working. And he's like, no, I'm also employed. Even me, when I'm sitting here, I'm at work, I'm employed.
Do you see the phone? I don't see the phone.
Where did it go?
I don't know.
Oh my God, you guys. We have a phone. Let me try calling it.
Says it's in a call.
It says it's in a call.
Yes. There. Yes.
Okay, found it. Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
All right, guys. Let's hear what you guys have to say. Try calling again. If you called and answer. Yeah, there we go. Zanzi, hello.
Hi, Mr. Anna, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm alright. But just correct me here. Do you remember when Beninda, when he testified, there was this thing that Guaveni is no more?
Yeah, I remember such things, but they were, they were hush-hush, and I don't think anyone remembers them if they were. But I remember.
But the judge asked for the death certificate. Yeah, so that thing might help the defense.
Nah.
That thing might help the defense to say, this man said Guaveni is no more. Because the judge wanted to know, where is Guaveni? Then I think it's BALOYI who said, my lord, he is no more. I should think that. The defense must go and listen to the record.
They definitely have
a weapon. I remember that thing. The judge asked for the death certificate. So that is the thing that it can help the defense now. Because Ramusipule has just messed up with this thing. So that's my advice.
All right. No, thank you.
He'll be upset. He'll be social media, whatever. But Nawe, Ramza. Social media, whatever. No. I was very graceful the first time. I said, no, it's a mistake. Mistakes happen. But that mistake was very costly, that one. And now there's another mistake. And it's also very costly. It's a costly one. If we don't know what to say, we.
Mzansi, hello. Hello. Right. Try calling again, and other calls are welcome also. Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Yeah, well, sir. Very well. How are you doing yourself?
I'm all right.
Yeah, Sis Emily, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Yeah, I'm going to start off by being a devil's advocate.
Okay.
No, I hear the issue about Ramsepile, but I'm thinking maybe he's not wanting to get into this whole, throwing tantrums around the courtroom. Looking at everything that is happening there is only maybe one direction, and preparing for appeal to say just put things in order, keep things in order, whatever, and look at having a proper case, because everybody else is just throwing tantrums, even the judge, that maybe it might be deliberate, which is it was all over the place. I'm just hoping he's doing it just to keep that order within and just maintain things in preparation for the appeal, because anybody with a sensible mind is seeing where this judge is going with this. So I'm just hoping, and I'm thinking it's just keeping the whole thing, because again, it seems no matter what you do, they always try and find a way of going around things. So let's throw, maybe there's something again, maybe that is seen, a bait that is thrown for them to bite. I don't think it's that useless, lack of a better word, as an attorney, that maybe there's something that he knows or a trap that is setting. We are yet to see why he's done that anyway.
I like it.
But yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Thank you.
Then going on to the whole thing, the statement and the transfer, I'm just wondering, because Muzi had the Butelezi brothers and whatever, so just wondering whether the transfer of the statement means that the statement should include what we listened to about Muzi's statement. Just not understanding really what transferring the statement, whatever means.
You're actually right. I would be worried if that wasn't Danzi's statement that was transferred, but the confession, alleged confession, but Moses' confession, it is taunted as lies also. Yeah.
So that statement, the judge refused it to be, like for Moses to be cross-examined on it. So that statement is not admissible itself. So just wondering whether now a copy of it is then admissible or whatever it is. Just wondering. Anyway, law seems to be all over the place. And with this judge, it's very difficult to work out what law is and what it looks like, because it just seems to be all over the place as well. To really know whether this is law or whatever, because sometimes it doesn't even listen for the advocates or whatever to submit properly for people to really understand their points of argument. And the other funny thing is, when the defense is wanting to address him, he will cut them like a mid sentence, and they can't even finish a sentence. BALOYI will, oh my lord, and he's given ample time, and he starts quietly listening to the stammers without disturbing the stammers. He says, oh wait, and he's already in there, just wondering, does he look at himself? Is he doing this deliberately? Are his emotions taking over that much that he can't realize what he's doing or what? Because even if kudlalwa game allegedly, surely you should be able to try and cover up a bit. Really disgusting. And even talking of wanting to put order and express his disappointment in the way they're behaving, and using such words as the words that he used to shut up, and thinking,
yeah, no,
what are you?
Yeah, no, we hear you.
Yeah,
thank you. Let's give some others a chance.
Thank you for the submission.
Sorry. Thank you.
No,
cool.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Mzansi, hello.
Mr. Good evening, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Good.
Yeah, I know. I just have a few aspects to share also here. First of all, Mr. do you still remember when this guy, the one that is testifying now, when he was talking about the doctor that he went to regarding the torturing of those guys from EMPD, because I remember he mentioned something about going to a doctor from a township down the street. Do you still remember that?
Yes, I do.
Because I think that also could help to prove that the guy was tortured, because I think maybe some doctor's note supposed to have some doctor's note from that doctor that can prove why he was there on that during that time, because that can prove why the guy was tortured. That is what I was thinking about. And again, what is triggering me is that guy with the big beard, the white big beard, the one next to Mr. Miss. I really try to understand why even ask the judge if it's in ruling or order. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't understand, because why do you even in the first place need a clarity if it's a ruling or an order? What are you going to do with that?
He wanted to see if we can submit, or what he wanted to submit. If it was an order, press on it.
He could have submitted his argument or whatever he wanted to say without even asking it. Because for me now, I was listening. For me now, he turned what the judge was going to say or to rule on, because Mr. BALOYI was cornered. Cornered. He didn't know what to do. He was like someone who's standing still, because the Miss was right. And I liked what Miss said, but I'm still standing on what I said. I like that guy. He's very strong.
Yeah, he is.
And again, I just want to ask something before I go. For me, I was thinking, I was looking to this state trial, or what, I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but for them, they must prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, not the defense, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but are they going to prove this case beyond reasonable doubt, like looking to Zungu's testimony? Because for me, even when I'm looking around, I don't see anything they have rather than the Zungu's testimony or the Zungu's statement, whatever he said, because you can never say it's beyond doubt this confession of Sidia and I will never say beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
For me, the only reasonable doubt he can even that one of Zungu, because Govin is here now to challenge Zungu's statement, whatever he said. I'm really eager. I'm looking forward to see what are they going to prove beyond reasonable doubt, because the judge I heard another day saying the state must prove beyond reasonable doubt. I want to hear him what is going to be his verdict whenever at the end of this trial. Because last time, if you remember, in that section 174, I remember most that application, not section 174, the one that the defense was applying for, and then they failed. But for me, I like, okay, the judge, he said, we can't just throw away this thing of which this guy Zungu, the testimony and the statement of Zungu, to give the evidence of Zungu. So I'm just willing to see what he's going to say now, because someone is here to challenge the testimony of Zungu. What is he going to rely on whenever, at the end of this case, whenever he's coming up with a judgment, what he's going to say? I'm just trying to understand, but I will see those we can even conclude even now by this case is going to Supreme Court up to High Court. We can just need to shape our hearts, because it's going tennis down on the track. I just wanted to share those few things. Hi guys, enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Bye.
your input and every point that you've raised. Thank you so much.
Sure, bye. Thank you guys.
Let's hear the other people.
Hey.
Mzansi, hello.
Other people.
Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you, Mr. Ano and Emily?
We're good. We're good. How are you?
I am good now. Yeah, but I did mention, I did to Emily, and I said, don't get too excited, no?
Yes, you did.
Don't get too excited. You know, from my side, I already have that feeling that, this guy is done. This guy will just do the sentencing and disappear. And the guys will go to the High Court. And he always said that. Because now look at what is happening. I was even listening this at work, and I said to this other guy who was listening to the case, I said, no. The reason of saying prove it wasn't pushing BALOYI. He was thinking that BALOYI will just prove the statement and let's continue. Which BALOYI didn't actually, something that BALOYI is hiding, which is even the judge is confused. What exactly is BALOYI hiding there? But the proof wasn't a push. Wasn't like a ruling as saying that you need to prove. It was something that it was simple, straightforward, that the judge thought BALOYI will prove, and then we continue. And then that also make me to be worried that what is in that statement now. It touch the statement. He didn't touch that statement.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't.
So,
we talked about it yesterday.
And now it's become a challenge because BALOYI, without that statement, obviously he will need to sit down because he can't continue to do the cross-examine that witness. Reason why? Because now you will say to that witness, hey, your Prakatiya Keninda said you wrote the statement. The witness said, no, but you were there. You remember you read the statement. I said, I don't know the statement. So now it will be an argument between the prosecutor and the Gwabini. That no, you were there. But I didn't sign, you remember. So it's difficult. That's why if the statement is basically is not going to be admissible, etc., or allow the guy to cross-examine with it, then BALOYI is done. He will sit down. But knowing that, yes, there's nothing Mr. Ano that he will do because the other things is also part of it is involved.
Yeah.
So how are you going to cross-examine the witness while you were involved? The witness will say, you are the one who called me. So you're going to dispute that and say, I didn't call you. Didn't I call you? Who called you? So it's hard. Now he's trying to, whatever that he's trying to do is just to look for loopholes that will match accused number 1 or accused number 2 on that statement. That look at here. This is hostile. This is not hostile. This is hostile. Or Muzi also in this bank statement, he actually said, I'm staying in this address. That is what he's looking for. So yeah, but anyway, at the end of the day, I see the guys going for appeal. I don't see, because the only thing that Rata will do is will defend the state and disappear.
Yeah. After
that, obviously going to High Court, etc., is no longer there. Whether the media will say, hey.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so that's my 2 cents. And also last about this thing of Gwabini being arrested. It really, I'm trying to figure out that, okay, meaning that if now those things they are saying, Gwabini arrested after dancing, do you think that's possible? No. Because that thing, it really does not make sense because it looks like Gwabini and Muzi, those are the 2 first people who got arrested. And then, according to me, the way I view it, as if like, I know they just tell Gwabini, you know what, if you can sign here or if you can agree with 1, 2, 3 times, we can release you. But it does not make sense if to say I'm trying to understand because sometimes it looked like he was arrested on the 16th and Gwabini after. But Muzi was arrested May, ne?
Yes, on the last day, the 30th of May.
Yes, May, meaning they were arrested before.
Who was arrested before?
I mean, like Gwabini and Muzi, they were arrested before that. Because Gwabini said he came from home. Nah, those records, I was watching, I end up today because I was so bored and then I watched the cat. Yes. The cat said on the police station, they said you only came and retrieved one gun. The guy said, no, they are crazy. I went there to retrieve all the guns. Said, I've got this, whatever. So, what on the book, whatever, what books, etc. So you can see now they are contradicting each other. What is happening inside to that police station, because he said, no, I came and fetched all the guns by the order of the whatever brigadier whatsoever. And someone is coming with it. So that means those things they can write as actually suit whatever narrative they're trying to portray it. I think that's the case, no? I don't think they put a stamp date that today's date you signed this and then you took your stamp. They just come and sign. Like those traffic cops that you'll find there with a book, fake book. They write a ticket and give it to you, a ticket that won't appear and even to appear there, etc. So I think there's something that is happening. But anyway, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you for calling
Bye.
and letting us know of
Mzansi, hello.
thoughts and points.
Hi, Mikano and family.
Hi, sir, how are you?
Good, thanks. I was not happy with the proceedings, but I'm not too much worried about Gwabini quoting the statement for me. Because there's nothing in that statement for me that implicates this headline.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So I think Munisi, I must commend them, these defense teams this time, to never touch a statement that we don't know what is going to come. That was a good job.
Yeah.
They did not, they just narrated what Zungu said and they asked him based on that. Because they've made so many mistakes with this, taking this statement, and then Baloyi says they are the ones who brought the statement as evidence. And then there is nothing that they can do. So I think it's a good thing that they didn't touch it. And the team, they must say, can you cross-examine him? And then they have to cross-examine him. The issue of him saying in the hostel, they said there's a big difference, Mr. Arno, if you have never seen section N and you have only seen section S. But the Gwabini guy says, I go and cook in N and I go and sleep in S. So he has already spoken about it. Whether the statement wrote the addresses N, I think it's immaterial because he actually spends some part of the day there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I think tomorrow we must allow Baloyi to cross examine. Remember the statement from Dia talks about Butele's brother. So they must talk about it. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not worry. Yes. Yeah, but this thing and at the end I was so disappointed by the judge. You know, I know that guys, when we are in a better position financially, you don't think about someone else.
Yes.
But complaint at the end was very simple to say, you guys, you are agreeing to push my testimony, but you don't even ask me. That's what you were saying. You don't even ask me if it's fine. You decide, and then I must comply with. And then I was actually hoping to read that letter, that they should read it. Because that letter, I can bet on it. It will not say, can you please pay Gwabini because he's attending court. No,
it won't.
It won't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And who's going to be angry during Christmas? It's Gwabini. So I was so angry. I was so pissed. Yeah. I was so pissed that time. I said, what are these guys talking about? Because Gwabini is coming to court and he's not getting paid. Both of your letters that you're writing because of your delay. And it's not Gwabini's problem. He has made himself available. So at the end, I said, Munisi tried to explain it, but the judge doesn't listen to take what you are saying into account.
Yes,
he already made up his mind and then he just started. Yeah, because he's saying, even me, I'm coming to work. Gwabini did not say they are not at work. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, Gwabini did not say you guys, they are at work, yes. But Gwabini is not going to have a salary for December. That is his concern.
A married man, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I was a little bit disappointed by that response, but that's fine. They must go through the statement, Nisa. I don't have a problem. Because in that cross-examination, instead of going back to the discussion to say, when did you last see Zungu into 1998? And the only thing was said, BALOYI is not going to even traverse that because there's nothing that is going to traverse. There's nothing. And then the fact that this Nago died in 2017, he's not going to traverse that because they must go to the hospital and get records. That when did this guy got shot? Yes. But you're not going to do that. BALOYI is not going to do that. So thanks, guys. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is where I missed Mshololo. Maybe Mshololo would have gotten up and said, the state has not even stated the point or the facts.
And you see, this golf is a chameleon. It changes from red to white. It will go back from white to be red again. So this golf, something else. It's a chameleon. It's just straight. But in a later note, when is Mechanic giving his money back?
That 2K. Now it needs to be brought back, please. Gwabeni is not going to be working, and this court is going to be holding him hostage. But then the 6th of December, I think it's when it's the last day. So
hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Hopefully you can catch up.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. My name is Aubrey Zungu.
Yes, Aubrey.
I know. And Emily.
Hi.
How are you? Njanba.
Good.
It's for real. I'm a first caller, by the way, but I do listen to your I do listen to your channel very well. It's interesting.
Yes, thank you.
All right. I'm calling in KZN, by the way.
Oh.
I'm not related to Gwabinis, but I'm Gwabini. All right.
Now
all right. I know. I want an email. I want to touch base on the issue of a statement. You know what Nisi did? He locked the state on this issue by saying to this witness, or by telling. I'm not saying he told this witness, but by look of things, he strategized on this thing, because he said, "You must said I never wrote a statement. I said they must transfer what Buzi said about me, and then I will sign." All right. And then you remember when he led this guy lately yesterday, before his closing of his office, he took through how the statement is being obtained. So already that indicates that method, or that way how you take a statement was not done according to the procedure.
Yes.
And that statement, it's not his own way saying this is what happened.
Yes.
He said, take what my brother said and put it in my statement.
Yes.
Now, that's a difficult which BALOYI is facing now, that you can't ask somebody on a statement which he said, I never wrote. I said, take what my brother said and put it on my statement.
Yes.
And the judge is aware that things were not done accordingly.
Yes.
If he pushes BALOYI to prove the statement, the first thing BALOYI need to do, you need to take a statement and say, this is a document, start by the name. The name you are Senzo Zungu. Already, you remember the statement.
Yes.
He did hint that this statement say Senzo Zungu Kwabe. It said Kwabeni. But it said something different on what his name is and the surname.
Combined two people in one person.
Yes, in one person. Now, how are you going to then confirm? Because if the name, the first thing, which is the names, are wrong, how then can you say this is my statement?
No, it's difficult.
There's no way.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Now, if you go to the content, look at the Muslim confession. is the content same with what Mbusi said? If it's different, then it means it's not his. Because he said to you, take what Mbusi said and put it down outside. So it then means to say the first departure line on that statement must say, on this date, we were at Gwabini's residence. But it won't say that, remember.
Yeah.
It will say, on these days, they were at my place.
Yeah.
Now, those are two different things. So he can't move. He will fail that space. And the issue when he said you need to take it for trial, he can't do that because now it's a defense case. It's not a state case. He would have done that if it was a state case. So he's held up. He will try by all means, but he won't succeed. Even if he can come with his argument, the defense will stand to say, but this is time, it's our state case. You must prove this statement if it belongs to Gwabini. Without that, we are not budging.
Yes.
That's my take, bro. But thanks for your show. It's very interesting and it's eye-opening. Each and every day we listen to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And let it not be your last call.
Right. Very interesting views, guys, that you have. Zanzi, hello.
Hey, Sarah, the lines are buzzing today. Hey,
thank you guys for not giving up.
They are. They are buzzing.
But you know what? It would be really nice to hear more women calling into the show as well. You know,
that's true. Yes, that's true.
That's true.
Yes, I mean the brothers are really contributing really well and everything like that, and we appreciate them. But you know, it would be nice to hear the sisters as well. You know,
their views, yes, their view, yes. They're greeting you already.
But you know what? It is important. You know what I mean? But you know what? You know, I'm not going to analyze the case because I really don't have the mental capacity to be able to do that. But you know, I think just watching the other commissions and just hearing what's unfolding on that side and then watching, you know, this case, a lot of things are starting to make sense, you know, but then I think I'm becoming more frustrated. And then it's like, okay, when you think there's a hope for our country and then you just start hearing all these things and then you're like, you know, this thing looks like it's sinking like the Titanic. Is it going to be salvageable? You know what I mean? Like, is somebody going to be able to save this thing? But yesterday, I saw quite a lot of comments around some words that were apparently uttered by the judge. And when you actually confirmed it today that he actually spoke to Advocate Munisi like that, I'm actually quite shocked. You know, this is a guy who talks about court decorum and things like that, and then he can actually ask, a grown-up, an educated man who earned his way to be standing in that courtroom and tell him to SU. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even speak? I mean, does he speak to his family like that? And why does he think that Advocate Munisi is deserving of that? And it is my hope that after Advocate Munisi walked away from the court, he had a moment to reflect on that moment, and that when he comes back on Tuesday, he will address it. And then my question is, did any of the news outlets say anything about that? Did anybody say anything? Or is it just cricket?
Cricket.
And then, and then as for Ndatera Musipili and Advocate Yaraki Umumalo, it's, I was so disappointed yesterday. Rams, when you think that he's on track and he's cruising and everything is going well, he'll just pull out that card of disappointment and just out of nowhere. And it's just like, there's no consistency. And then somebody, I saw a comment on the chat, somebody saying that he acts like a law intern. You know, the way the way he doesn't act like someone who's earned his way to be in there. The way he squirms in his seat. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like he's taking orders from his daddy. You know, he'll stand up, he'll stand up, Mola, and pull his this pura high, and you know, and bury his head between his shoulders. Doesn't stand up and raise his head and, you know, show up his neck like that. Who's earned his way to be there. I don't understand what Brata is doing to these people. And then for him to be dismissive of Gwabeni's concerns about losing his job, that was disgusting. That was grotesque.
It was.
It was heartbreaking to watch him comparing Gwabeni's situation to his. He felt like, oh, now I'm working. But yeah, you're working, but you're getting paid when you're sitting up there. But he's not.
He's getting paid in retirement.
Exactly. And now he's working like a consultant, which has a pay hour.
Yes.
He's not on a salary anymore.
No.
They give fixed contract. He's on a fixed contract that's getting paid per hour. And then he's got the audacity to tell someone that, oh, a man with a wife and children who has to provide. After Baba Zungu came, this case, it's just like, I've just lost interest. And kudos to you guys for having the strength to continue.
It's not easy,
you know,
anymore.
Because it's not. It's so hard. And when you hear the abuse and the alleged torture that happened to Gwabeni, the modus operandi is the same.
Yes.
And then for Mam Fundisi to come and sit in the court, obviously her sitting in the court is an intimidation tactic.
Yes, she's been doing
intimidation
that ever since it began.
Yeah, it's intimidation. And I was actually glad that Gwabini actually mentioned that she chased him away from court. So her purpose there is to intimidate people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's allowed. That's the thing. It's allowed.
Yes.
And then we talk about our constitution is one of the best constitutions in the world, blah blah blah, human rights of South Africa. But like, where is the human rights of the people sitting in the gallery?
They don't have
where are the human rights? The wheel of justice is turning so slowly. And the sad part is that people like Ntanzi have to sit through this entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have to sit through the entire thing until the end. And who knows when the end is coming? Because there's somebody in the comments who said this case started before their child was born. And every time when they're watching this thing, they're looking at their baby and being like, oh, you know, this thing started, you know, when you were a baby or before you were born, and it's still going. And I was just like, you know what? It may go on until your child is in matric. Until the child is in matric. Who knows? But in the meantime, Ntanzi has to sit there. That's the sad part.
Yes. His life is
But anyway, guys,
away.
I'm not going to... Imagine. And then we talk about justice and whatnot. Where is justice? But and the night gang, please press the like button. Not the night gang. For months and months, they come back and you still guys don't press the like button.
No, the booster ke ba go sing are the best. Ke bona ba re booster. Night gang is very slow to press that like button. And the most interesting thing is that their likes are really, really what creates the momentum. Yeah, the momentum.
It's the thing. And then I'm like, you know, the night gang is the one that's burning the oil at night, but they don't press the like button. But can we please just press the like button? Please. Anyway, guys, let me go. I love you guys so much. It was lovely to touch base. All the best, and I'll speak to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Ah, yes, that is our regular there.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I had such a good laugh.
Right, guys, this is the end of the show.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Until next time, it's a bye from us.